Months of the relentless bombardment, destruction, and displacement, calm is finally returned to the Gaza Strip. As you can see, thousands of displaced Palestinians are returning to the northern Gaza after the official ceasefire was approved and takes effect, with Israeli forces pulling back from residential areas and the reopening of the coastal road, Al-Rashid Street, the vital road that linking southern and northern parts of the Gaza. A massive movement of returning has begun.
We were displaced from the north to the south 2 weeks ago. We stayed there in severe hardship, but we hope that our pain will fade with the joy of returning home. Even if our house was destroyed, it is still our land, and we want to live in it.
The soil of Palestine is precious to us, and we will never give it up, even with our lives. We have sacrificed and offered thousands of martyrs for this land, and we will never abandon Palestine. Our cause will continue until the liberation of our homeland.
We thank God that we're still alive. Today is the happiest day in the world, the greatest joy of my life. I'm 70 years old and have never felt this happiness before. I truly hope the war never returns.
We are returning to our home, even if it has been bombed and turned to rubble. This is our country, and we want to stay in it. We are proud and extremely happy to be going back to Gaza, and we hope the war will never come back again.
From the early hours of this morning, the once empty road has filled with the streams of families heading north, carrying remains of their belongings and the weight of their memories. For those families, returning is not merely about reclaiming a place. It's about they are attempting and returning to rebuild their lives and their memories, believing that this return the beginning of a new chapter in Gaza Strip after the hardest and the darkest times in Gaza's history.
Meanwhile, people in Tel Aviv have gathered at Hostages Square, waiting the release of the hostages, which is expected to be carried out on Sunday or Monday. Despite celebrations in Israel and a flood of messages from world leaders hailing the deal, numerous issues remain unsettled. Jonathan Regev has more now from Tel Aviv.
Within the government, there is a clear, I would call it a joy, relief, although it has to be said that there are also opponents within the Israeli government. Unsurprisingly, we're speaking of the far-right parties, the two far-right parties, the Religious Zionism and Jewish Power, headed by Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, both of them voting against the agreement when the vote was put in government. They're in a minority. The government approved the agreement in a big majority, but with 5 people voting against, all of them coming from the far-right parties. And if everything goes according to plan and the hostages will be released as expected either Sunday or Monday, and maybe not all of the hostage bodies, but at least most of them will be returned, this will be a week of a clear joy, relief, happiness in Israel. And of course, there's a big anticipation, hope to see all of the living hostages in Israel, maybe 48 hours from now, maybe even less, to see at least most of the hostage bodies. Anticipation, but for many people that they're still saying we will believe it when we see it. Once the hostages are in Israel, are in Israeli hands, then they will believe it. Many people are saying there's still obstacles to go. Until it happens, we're still doubtful. We have to see it happening to believe.